Hello, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the 2021 NACE virtual conference. I'd like to thank you for visiting Accurate Corrosion Control Inc.'s virtual booth. Here in this short PowerPoint presentation, I'll try to touch a little bit on the services that Accurate Corrosion Control, or ACCI, can provide. First, a little background on ACCI. It's founded in 1984. We have two offices, one in Glendale, Arizona, one in Pleasanton, California, which is in Northern California in the Bay Area. Totally employee owned. Right now we have approximately 105 full-time employees in various states such as Arizona, California, Texas, and Virginia. Most of our employees hold NACE certifications, and we definitely support our employees taking NACE classes and getting NACE certifications. We think that's a great benefit to not only Accurate Corrosion Control, but also to the industry in general. Full service corrosion control company, and we are gold shovel certified. Touch base briefly on some of our clientele. As you can see, I won't go through them all, but it covers the gambit of power generation, gas utilities, cross-country pipelines. What's not shown on here would have been a lot of municipalities for water treatment, wastewater treatment, water tanks, so forth is another area that we do a lot of work with. Little bit of overview. Like I said, we're a full service corrosion control company, which means we pretty much offer cradle to grave services. We can design through our engineering department with their own in-house drafting services, can provide a complete design, engineering, and bid package. Also, we do construction. We do survey, such as ECDA type surveys or just general CIS surveys. We're also a material provider also. Here again, a little bit of our services, cathodic protection design, AC MIT studies and installations too. We do not do the modeling in-house. We do partner with several companies that have the modeling software. We do the field data gathering for the information that needs to go into modeling. And when the model is done, we do generate the CAD drawings and everything for a construction package. Short locating, there again, ECDA surveys, interference testing, and so forth. Just to touch a little bit on short locating and troubleshooting, for many years now, for well over a decade, we've had our technicians embedded with several gas utility companies, kind of augmenting their corrosion department and helping with not only their annual survey testing, but also short locating and troubleshooting their distribution systems. And this is just a snapshot that was taken several years ago. It kind of gives you a breakdown of some of the items we had found, whether underground contacts, failed insulators, and a little bit of the footage of the piping that we have tested. Some areas of innovation that Accurate Corrosion Control has pursued is data management and GIS tools. This can be seen for our CIS and so forth, where we've created in our client portal, where you can come in through our website. We can present the CIS information to you in graphical form, but it's an interactive presentation that you can move your cursor across the graph. It'll give you the pertinent data for that particular point. You can also click on it and it'll open up a GIS map and show you the route of the CIS and where that particular test point was taken. We also have the ability, if there's anything found and there's pictures taken, those pictures can be embedded into that interactive graph too. So it's a very good tool that can help with the presentation of the data. We've also work on solar CP solutions, whether they're large, solar installations for cross-country pipelines, or more smaller ones for gas distribution CP systems within the cities and so forth. Dairyland Ultra Box, we'll touch on that in a little while. Rotocell CIS, continuous CIS tool. If you guys have been to our booth in past conferences, it's the wheel with a water tank in the back of a pickup that gives you constant contact with the soil through a water bridge with your reference cell and a wheel. So we've had that out for many years. And also our rectifier influence studies, which use the American Innovation interrupters in the influence mode. I'll touch on that a little bit later. I'll have a graph to show you on that. All-in-one test station, which is basically just like it says. It's a test station that houses ER probes, coupon, a soil tube for to lower your reference cell directly down next to the structure in question, and it's all in one installation. If you have mag anodes, you can have those installed too. So it's just one place where you can have all your testing in one location. And the newest thing we've worked on is a product called Not Hot. It's a zero heat test lead connections. We had a client approach us about the need for something on their pipeline systems for doing that. I'll have some pictures later on in this slideshow that will show you what we've come up with. As I mentioned, a rectifier influence study. Excuse me. This is a graph, and basically it's a potential at one test point taken over time. This particular case, it's at 0 to 120 seconds. So this is a 2-minute snapshot of a pipe to soil at one particular test point. And we have all these operators who have rectifiers that are in the area of this test point. And each one of these operators, either single rectifier or multiple rectifiers for these operators, have interrupters on them, and they're all set to go off together with that operator. So at this particular time frame here, all the rectifiers that are on interruption set 1 go off, and then everything comes back on for 2 seconds. And then the next operator, rectifiers go off, and then everything comes back on, and it just works its way through the interruption set. And at the very end, all the rectifiers go on and off. So this will allow you to see all the components that make up what your potential actually is. When you show up at a test station and hook up and get a potential, what makes up that potential? And this breaks up all the different components that make up your potential. So if you have an interference, not only can you identify possibly which client it is, you could actually then, once you identify the client, you could break their rectifiers up on individual interruption circuits, and you could even identify which particular rectifier is causing the interference. So quite a bit of information here. There's another slide or PowerPoint presentation that you guys can look at that goes into more detail of the rectifier influence study. As mentioned earlier, we have the all-in-one coupon test station. This is when we developed. This yellow cap on top can be locked, and it's hinged. You can open it up, and then it's a soil tube that goes down to the next to the structure that's in question, and down next to the ER probe and the coupon. So this actually is the inside of that particular box. In this case, it's a dual ER probe location. We have an ER probe tied into the CP system, and then we have an ER probe that is static. You can compare the corrosion rates of these two over time, and then you can get a very good indication of the effectiveness of your CP system. And here you have the pipe, and you have the coupon, and this bond right here ties the coupon into the pipe. So if you want to get an instant off reading, you can hook up your meter here, and you can just unplug this bond, and it'll give you an instant off reading at that location. Then if you have any mag anodes in the area, you can actually terminate them in here also. So it's everything in one nice, neat location. We mentioned solar. This is a fairly large installation on a cross-country pipeline that needed a significant amount of solar panels. Obviously you're out remotely like this, you need to be able to protect your equipment. So this entire structure was designed to house the equipment inside, so it would be out of harm's way. Here's the equipment. It houses your inverters. It houses all your batteries and everything else. So it's kind of neat and all housed in one location. That's for a large installation. For a smaller installation, say inside of an urban area, we've developed this SAW anode, and it's here you see your solar panels up top of a pole. It's made to look like what you would normally see along a roadway in an urban environment. If you've seen the poles or the boxes that house all your controls for traffic lights and everything else, this was made to fit in with that and kind of blend in. In this particular case, the vertical anode is directly below the foundation. It comes right up through this concrete pad here that has the anchor bolts and everything, and it goes right up in the pole and then right into the box. And here for the wires to be terminated. Very neat and clean environment. The Ultra Box, this is actually being manufactured and sold by Dairyland. It's a box that was developed by ACCI Corrosion Control, and ACCI has the patent on this box, but we have partnered with Dairyland to manufacture and distribute the box. It allows you to snap in the different pieces that you need, shunts and so forth, resistors or whatever you need for a terminal box. And then you can change its design or needs and add or take away as needed as time goes on. And as I mentioned earlier, we had a client that specifically asked for a way to connect test leads to their pipe without using heat, without using CAD weld, without using pin brazing. Their particular lines had a PVC pipe had been pulled in inside of their steel line for a retrofit, but they're still monitoring, they're still protecting the steel pipe. This also could be used if you're in at a facility that might have lined pipe, either Kynart or Placeart lined pipe, depending on what kind of product they're pumping through their line. Some of them have lined pipe, and you can't make a connection on the outside without destroying the coating on the inside if it's heat involved. So in this particular case, developed this coupon here out of carbon steel, and it has these teeth in it, so it kind of get a nice bite to the pipe that it's going to be connected to. It's got this very strong magnet in the middle, and then the wire is soldered on the back side. And then it shows over here, this is a conductive epoxy that then is put on the pipe. And here you can see with the test lead, it's got an area that's cut into the steel coupon. The wire is laid in there, and it's soldered in place. You got the conductive epoxy holding it on, along with the magnet holding it on. And this can all then be covered with a coating and something over the top of it. So we've got numerous ones of these installed and continue to monitor them, and they're all are working fine. So this is just another way that ACCI uses innovation to meet what our clients' needs are. So I'd like to thank you for visiting our booth, our virtual booth. And if you have any other information or like to see any other information, you can go to our website, www.accuratecorrosion.com. And we also have other videos and presentations within our virtual booth. And please feel free to view those also. Thank you very much.